So lately, I've been kind of addicted to pet battling because it's just too much fun. The PvP side of it reminds me a lot of a toned-down version of Pokemon, so I decided to get into that. So far, I have a couple of teams made, and I made a video about one of them about 6 months ago. So this is technically my second, and I should have some more pet battling stuff from here on out. The team I'll be showing today is what I like to call Project Mayhem. What this team does is use the Imp to switch out my opponent's pets before they get a chance to do anything and screw up their strategies. Then I throw out my Flame Shield and switch out to one of my other two pets who are pretty much there to stall out while my Imp heals himself back up with a combination of his racial ability and the Flame Shield hitting from the back row. In this version of Project Mayhem, I use the Mechanical Dragonling and a Speed Spec Rabbit. The Dragonling is pretty fast and can outspeed pretty much everything except other fast pets, and can drop a dummy to block 2 attacks. This, combined with the fact that he's a mechanical type and can come back to life if he dies, allows him to survive for a surprisingly long time. Now, my Arctic Hare can outspeed pretty much everything except for a handful of pets. With this speed, he can pretty much become unhittable for 3 turns with dodge and burrow. But what makes him great, besides his excellent ability to dodge attacks, is that he wrecks undeads. You see undeads a lot while pet battling, and he has a sweet type advantage against them. And if that's not amazing enough, he also takes less damage from elementals, another type of pet you see a lot, and makes Ragnaros, one of the hardest hitting pets in the game, seem like a joke. Alright, this first team I'm going against is a Ragnaros, a Blighthawk, and a Crab that has a ridiculous amount of attack. He just hits really hard, and he's also really hard to kill because he has a little bit higher than normal health, and he has a Shell Shield and a heal ability. So he's basically just there to survive forever and actually beat you down with a really hard basic attack. So I open up with the Nether Shield to try to switch him out, but it misses, so I just go into the Flame Shield and switch out to my Mechanical Dragonling, because I know my Rabbit won't be enough to take him out. So I set up the decoy, and I'm going to switch out because Ragnaros can take out the decoy with the one flame, and he's just going to go into his Submerge instead. That also takes out the decoy pretty easily. And good thing for Usagi, he's a complete counter to Ragnaros. He's just gonna dodge the whole Submerge. If you go first and use dodge, you can block 2 attacks, because you'll block the attack from that turn and then you'll block it from the next one. And my Usagi is really bad against the Emperor Crab, but I was able to get a burrow off. So I'm gonna switch out into either the Imp or the Mechanical Dragonling, because that Crab counters my Rabbit pretty hard. So I'm gonna try to switch him out and go into Ragnaros, which is great. I have to refresh Flame Shield, and I'm going to switch back out into my Rabbit. He sets up his Molten thing, which is fine, because another cool thing about critters is they can't be stunned. He's going to activate his Molten Trap right away with his Surge to break it, and Usagi will be fine because not only does he take less damage from both of those attacks, he also can't be stunned because of his type. So I just go into a dodge and switch right out immediately, because I know if I leave my Rabbit in, it's not going to do anything. His Crab's just going to heal up to full and take him out. So I go straight into the Mechanical Dragonling, he puts up his shield, and I'm going to set up Decoy, because the Crab cannot take out the Decoy easily. So I have 2 turns to just basically beat on him. He's going to have to switch out if he wants to do anything, but he doesn't. He stays in, which is great for me. I'm just going to stay with my Mechanical Dragonling as long as possible and try to do damage. So instead he switches out to his Rag, because he knows he can Submerge when the bomb drops to take less damage. So I just switch back out into Usagi, and that's fine because your Submerge doesn't really do anything to me. I can just throw up dodge and sit through while you use Submerge for your second turn. The bomb's going to drop on him, it's going to miss, and I can just do my Scratch because I have one more turn to dodge since I went first with it. So I completely dodge the entire Submerge, and I go into Burrow to dodge his next attack. He's going to try to set up the Magma Trap combo, where he sets the trap and then uses Wave to block it. And he's probably going to die right here because he's super low. Usagi hasn't really taken anything from them. He's at about half health, and he's taken a ton of hits so far. So he's going to Scratch, and he's thinking about which one to switch out to. Of course, he goes into my counter. If he left Ragnaros in, he would have died. And I'm going to switch out immediately, because like I said before, the Rabbit can't do anything against the Emperor Crab. Fiendish Imp to try to switch him out. Maybe I can get his Ragnaros if I'm lucky. And he switches into an Undead, because Undead do have the type advantage against my Fiendish Imp, and I switch his Undead into Ragnaros. And I just kill him with Burn, because he's fast enough to hit him. And if he didn't switch him out, he would have been fine. And he doesn't. He leaves him there because he thought I was going to switch into my Rabbit, and I didn't. I just attacked. I throw up my shield and almost die because Blighthawks do hit ridiculously hard. So I just go into my mechanical dragon lane. I probably should have went into my rabbit. I don't know why I went to the dragon lane right here. So I throw up the decoy, and I'm going to be able to block 2 attacks with this. Set up bomb. He can't switch into Ragnaros to dodge the bomb anymore. And I'm going to switch into the rabbit. I'm not really sure why I put it in the dragon lane in the first place. Should have went straight to the rabbit, since he can pretty much just take out the undead like he's nothing. Anyways, I have the bomb set up and I can dodge 3 attacks, so the bomb's guaranteed to go off before he even hits me. And I kill him with the thing during the turn he dies, so the bomb pretty much goes off during his turn of immunity and he goes into liftoff. Which is fine because I can block that no problem during his turn of immunity with a burrow and use it to hit his crab as soon as it comes out. Now I have my 3 pets alive and his 1 crab, which isn't so bad. So I'm going to stick with Usagi to see what I can do with him. Of course, I think that's what happens. Yeah, I'm going to stick with this guy. Can't really do much, and I think I'd pretty much decide to switch out because he's just going to heal up to full if I leave. If I stick with my rabbit, because the rabbit can't do anything against him. Although, it looks like that's not what I'm doing here. There we go. Finally about to switch out. Go into the dragon lane, take the hit, activate fail-safe mechanic. Well, then I'm going to set up the decoy to block 2 attacks. Decoy is pretty great against the Emperor Crab, because he only has that 1 attack and he can't multi-hit. So I'm going to set up the bomb. 3 turns from now it's going to explode and do a moderate amount of damage, and I'm just going to do flame until I die. All it's going to do is hit me once and I'm dead anyway. Then I go into the Flame Imp. Flame Imp only has 1 attack he can use against him, since he can't really nether gate this guy, since his other 2 guys are dead and his burn attack does more damage. So I'm just going to spam burn on him. There's no use in refreshing Fire Shield because his Shell Shield just completely negates it. He's going to try to heal up, but that's fine. The bomb finally goes off, does moderate amount of damage, not too much. Emperor Crab has pretty high defense with the Shell Shield. And I just use burn, and he's dead. Next one, it's a Scourge Whelpling fossil team. What this team does is they ignore your team and just attack your entire team the whole time. They pretty much do not care what you have out because they're just going to keep on attacking your entire team. What the Whelplings can do is pretty much bypass all your dodges. So I put out Usagi because he can take out his entire team by himself because he's a critter. He goes super fast and he can dodge like crazy. Except with the Scourge Whelpling and their Darkness ability, they still do hit me, but it doesn't really do that much damage, since what they're doing is attacking my entire team. They don't really care about, attacking whatever pet I have out. So I'm going to use my pet, dodge whenever I can, and then just use Scratch to try to take him out, which is actually really a pretty good idea, since Usagi is pretty legit when it comes to taking out undeads, and his entire team's undead. So he goes into Darkness again to set up for a second Whelpling. He dies, goes into his turn of immunity. He's just going to keep on attacking my team. Pretty boring on his end, since his and all of his moves are pretty predictable. And I'm just going to stick with my rabbit until he's dead. Goes into a second Whelpling, and I'm just going to repeat like I always do. Just going to Scratch, Scratch, Scratch. And he's just going to attack my team, attack my team. Alright, finally on the last pet. The last pet, I can only get hit once before I die, which is more than enough to take out his entire hatchling from full to dead, even though I don't have Burrow. He sets up his Death and Decay, which is really nice because it's kind of like the Flame Shield that it hits your entire team every turn, except it doesn't activate on the pet itself. Which is fine because dodge will block its dot effect, even though all he needs is 1 dot to go off. And I'm able to kill him even though he only hits me once technically with the Death and Decay, which is fine. He was able to kill my imp because he got that really lucky hit in the beginning of the match. And I just go into the Mechanical Dragon Lane. He's already almost dead from the hit in the back row anyway, but it's fine because he just sets up Decoy and uses to block the Death and Decay at his last attack during his turn of immunity, and I win.